Yeah.
We can show the. Here's a video we gotta make.
Okay.
Here, Dylan, go ahead.
Okay, so we have to basically make a storyboard or commercial for our app.
Okay.
So we decided that we wanted to basically all the characters. So we're all basically in this video.
Yeah.
5 of us.
Yeah.
And we're all in this basically are all different personas.
Yeah.
And so one of our personas is like organized Olivia. She's very organized and stuff. One is go with the flow Joe, like who'd do anything. Another one is penny pinching Pat, who always wants to save a little more money on certain things. And we have Scenic Sydney, who always wants to see like the outdoors and scenic adventures.
Yeah.
So they're all basically on the phone with each other, and they're kind of planning this trip out with each other. And trying to figure out, like, what app should we use, or, I want to take the scenic route, or I have to pee a lot on trips and stuff. So it's kind of like they're trying to brainstorm all together, trying to figure out what to do. And then one of them mentions, I have this awesome app called Trippin'. Like, we can do all of that. Like,
right.
we can pick spots, like, along the way, whether it's scenic or foodie and stuff. So then it basically just kind of ends up like we basically show in one slide like the different features of like how the app works kind of, and the different features of that in a car console basically.
Yeah.
And then basically at the end we're just kind of like saying like, hey guys, like why don't we just download the app first and we can get started already.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our idea for our commercial.
So hold on, you said that you're going through the planning, and then you talk about the different features.
Yeah.
And then you have the trip is getting started.
Well, like they're all kind of like arguing, like, I forgot to mention, like they're like, oh, where should we go? Everyone's like, oh, I want to go to Miami. I want to go to New York. And it's like, guys, like let's just all like get the app first, and then let's start.
Got it. Interesting. I would say that the thing that makes it a little bit confusing is that here you have the different features. Something like, for instance, like adding stop along the way. So to me, it's more like you could cut this part down and make it really short, and just have like a quick like cut for each vignette.
Yep.
Like if you can like distill like the person's persona down to like a particular like message or need.
Right.
And then like, because this is actually kind of the meat of like you're describing what the app does through these ones, and then it goes back and it's like, I thought like the trip was happening. So like if you could like show these while the trip is happening, so it's like so you're like constantly cutting back and forth between like
that's true.
Like the app being used while like in the car.
Yeah.
So then that, be careful while you're filming that, but like it could be could be pretty cool, right?
No, totally.
Because then like you can, for instance, like rather than the person like having a need, like I need to pee a lot on trips, it could just be like you can cut that all away and just be like the use case for adding a stop along the way is somebody needs to go to the restroom. Yeah. Where's the nearest like gas station or something? Right. Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah. That's a good idea.
And then you could show like the car caravan like pulling over at the gas station kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, like, I think like if you're, because I think like it tells a more compelling story. I think if you can show like the planning and the usage kind of in context, and then kind of so with like maybe at the end it's like a successful road trip, high-fiving when they get to their destination. What an awesome journey that was.
Totally. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, as opposed to like kind of like they're planning app and then they just finish planning and then they're ready to go.
Right.
But
No, totally.
Can I ask you a quick question? Can you pull up your journey map? We've been creating journey maps for different projects, and I'm thinking, should I have them do it like put a journey map in a presentation? It's just too detailed, or what is the value of journey mapping for you guys? And would you ever present a journey map? Sometimes maps are like your underwear; they give you support, but nobody should see them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think so. The journey map for like we use it mostly when we're in like the early planning phases where we're trying to understand like the complexity of a particular situation. Most of the time, like a lot of the things that we work on are the individual micro features, so they don't end up being journey mapped that much because it's more like we've like somebody has done the legwork of mapping the journey, but we're just tackling like one segment of the journey, and that's what this feature does. Like it would be like we're just designing the chat feature, we're just designing, the planning feature, but you're designing an app from the end to end, from the ground up. So like I think like having it from the beginning is awesome because like somebody will eventually want to like use this and keep reusing it. But in terms of your question is in terms of like presentation, like is it worth showing? In terms of like the video or like
if you're presenting the final app design, of course this is upfront research. It can get really bogged down.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's like an artifact or like a tool that you would use to represent like, hey, we did all of this research to understand the planning process of a road trip. So like, and then like here's like the different points. Like if you can keep referring back to it when you're using it as a presentation, then it becomes really useful. Because you're saying this feature is going to be used at this point in time, and this feature will be used at this point in time. So that I think is like helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like at Airbnb, we have this thing called it's called Snow White. It's like a code name that we came up with, but basically it's like, and it was designed or like illustrated by like an ex-Pixar illustrator. But it's basically there's a host journey and a guest journey from like everything from like how they heard about Airbnb to becoming an Airbnb host to getting like the moment of truth first guest, and then like even like it's kind of like the marketing funnel. At the very end, they become an advocate, and then they like spread the word to somebody else, and then like the cycle starts again.
Right.
And so like it used to be a core value of our company, which was like every frame matters, and the frame refers to what's up. Oh no. Okay. This was just so fun. Yeah. You guys go. I'm gonna stay here. And so like basically it was like that is basically a journey, but it's not like a process journey. It's basically like an illustrated storyboard. But that I think is like our core value was like every piece of that journey was really really important to us.
You're using them up front, but not so much in the end. It's more for planning and research.
Yeah, and it's more like stating what part you're focusing on.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I know sometimes, because I work in service design as well, we'll create a new journey based on things we've improved from the old journey.
Yeah,
it's a different way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to decide. Do I put the new journey here? I
mean, I've also done a lot of visioning decks that do that. So like we illustrate like a current journey, and obviously we're pointing out everything that's wrong with the current journey, and then when we illustrate the new vision, it's like here's what's hot, and it's like so like you can see how like easy it is. Obviously it's like idealized, but like
Got it.
Yeah. So very similar.
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It was really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, by the way, I recorded your suggestion because one of our teammate is not there, so I can share with her
Okay, sure.
as well. Do you mind if you?
No, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully.